let me see if I've got let me see over here in the schedule.
Lag.
Yeah, is there a lag? What a shame. Everything's been fine so far. Okay, let's see now if I'm just checking the stream. And looks like I'm streaming. Should be okay. Let me just check the sound. Yep. Okay, everything's cool. Okay, so we got a recording going in YouTube. And let's get back into Minecraft. Okay. So let's see. I'm sitting here all by myself in this. Have we got a sunny day out, or is it cloudy out there?
It's raining.
Raining? Oh, let's turn it. Let's make nice weather. Let's see. Okay. Weather, sun. Okay. All right. And let me pull up the map so I know what time it is. Okay, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I guess, let's see. All right, so I got where you guys are. Okay. Okay. Mindless drivel over. Enough of that. I'm Teacher Vance, or Vance Stevens. I'm the lead moderator of EVO Minecraft MOOC, and today is a very special day. It's a first day in history. It's the day of the first ever conference in Minecraft on language learning. It's the EVO Minecraft MOOC conference, February 8th, 2022, on language learning. And we're so happy to have with us here Robert Remmerswaal and Robert Dykes. And they're going to, I hope I got the pronunciations okay.
Yep.
Okay, and they're going to show us, let's see, how they're using Minecraft in a self-access learning center at their university. And we're going to do some activities and follow them along, and so I'm sure we'll learn something, no matter what you already know how to do. It's always good to see how teachers are using Minecraft in their craft. So I think you guys are up where I need to be, and so I'm going to exit this beautiful conference room that I built here, and Bobby is still there. That's okay. And going up the stairs and over to where you are. And I see you guys on your little platform here. And there's Walton. Hi, Walton. And Dash is here. And Kumarab, that's Robert Remmerswaal, and I guess Robert Dykes is Great Destroyer or something like that. I wonder what that means. Okay, so watch that guy. All right, so this is our 4th session of the conference, and then we get a break for a while. But anyway, so tell us what's going on.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Excited to be a part of history here. I'm Robert Remmerswaal, dressed as Kumamon, the mascot of Kumamoto, Japan. Yeah, I guess I'm Robert Dykes.
Yeah, Robert Dykes. I think I'm Great Destroyer right now in Minecraft. I have a cape on. I don't know what I'm dressed as though.
We're both based here in Kumamoto in Japan, on the southern island of Kyushu. And I guess one thing I learned from the last meeting or session was keep people occupied in Minecraft, or else they get kicked off for not moving.
True.
But we'll give you more instructions at the end of kind of our spiel here. But our ask is that you guys share ideas on activities we can do with our students, or plugins that would be good, maps that would be good to use with our students. So at any time you can come over to this chest, grab a sign, and put it onto this wall and write your idea. If it's really, really long, you can write it on a book as well. But yeah, if you want to wait to find out who our students are, at any time, if something we say gives you an idea, just pick up a sign and start writing it out. If you're watching this as a recording, you can This whole week you can write on here. We'll be coming back and seeing what people write. And if it's YouTube or Facebook or wherever it is, if you can't access in here, you can always comment, and we will look at those comments. I guess with that, let's get started. So yeah, we have Minecraft in our Self-Access Learning Center at our school. We are the facilitators of this, and we are observing the adoption of Minecraft by our students. Are they going to adopt? How well do they adopt it? How much English is used? Everything like that is what we want to observe. We just soft launched it in October 2021, and so we got some feedback from the students. We have a few really strong players who love coming in and playing, who find us in the hallways to come talk to us about Minecraft. We have some very casual players, some one and done players, and people interested couldn't figure out when to join. I guess a little bit, I got into Minecraft originally because my nephew was watching a lot of Minecraft videos when he was 5-6 years old, and he downloaded a bunch of knockoff Minecrafts, and I was just embarrassed for him. So I told him I think he had to like make me scoop some ice cream for me. If he scooped me some ice cream, I would buy him Minecraft.
Such a deal.
Android, and with that, I found out I had get a free copy as well. So I got started on that and started playing. So about 2 years ago, I started writing Minecraft. How about you, Robert Dykes?
Yeah, so I'm a big gamer, and I kind of got tired of my research projects that I was working on. I mean, they were interesting, but I really wanted to do something I was passionate about. So I started a paper. I was like, hey, what about using games in the classroom, and what would it take? So I just finished writing like a short paper for our university's journal about what you need to consider to use a game for language learning. What type of games can you consider? Like sandbox, point and click, like why this game might not work and why this game might work. It was just an exploratory paper of what I need to consider if I want to use a game. And I was almost done with that paper, and then Robert, we work on different floors, so we don't necessarily talk about everything we do, but then he heard I was writing this paper, and he was like, hey, I have this Minecraft idea, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. I just finished writing this paper. I like Minecraft, and he asked if I wanted to help out with it, and I mean, it was just perfect timing at the right place at the right time, and so that's how I got started with the project, working with Robert on it. Yeah. So.
And what was the project?
What now?
What was the project? I mean,
Okay, so yeah, do you want?
Go ahead.
That's something to seg you into it. Yeah. Okay.
So Sojo University has something called the Self-Access Learning Center. It's got a nice big budget. It's got its own floor. It literally has its own floor. We have DVD players, multi-purpose media rooms, graded readers. We have teachers set up for conversation lounge. We have private meetings for skill center. It's a very put together system of English help and English related language learning assistance outside of the classroom. And yeah, so I think Robert just wanted to add to what we were already offering, and that's where the Minecraft fits in.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to give more details on it.
Yeah. So especially we moved our conversation lounge online. When people come in person, we have conversation cards, we have board games, we have so many things to keep a conversation going. Especially as students come day after day or week after week, some of the basic topics that they are capable of speaking of quickly get exhausted. When it moved online and we had none of those resources, students, first weren't coming in because I just have to sit with a teacher, like showing my face and just me and the teacher. Or when they did come in, there might be one student who is really strong. Like, oh, I don't even understand what that student is saying. Like, anyway, there was a lot of fear based around joining our conversation lounge online. So I thought, oh, I'm going to launch Minecraft. And I thought in April 2021, I'm just going to launch it. It's going to be easy. Which it's not rocket science to launch a server. But there's a little bit more to it than just, hey, let's play. Especially at our school, we're not allowed to play games using the Wi-Fi system. Even some voice chats like Discord can have difficulties. There's a lot that is blocked by the Wi-Fi. So learning how to overcome those obstacles, everything like that, meant that we didn't actually launch until October 2021. And at that time, we did a Halloween build contest. So I had figured out how to get around all those hurdles, but to incentivize the students to get around some of those hurdles was a chance to win. We had 5 prizes, 3,000 yen, so about $30. Second place was $1,500, and 3 prizes of 500 yen. And some of it came from my budget, but our principal, the head of the university, I was so into this idea, he gave about $100, not from any university budget, but from his personal wallet. He took out $100 and gave it to us to get this going.
Can I add something real quick?
Yeah.
So in the previous session, like James York asked, like, where's the language learning taking place, or what, how are you promoting language learning? I think the first semester, the first phase of this project, we weren't really concerned with that. We just wanted to say, like, how can we get Minecraft up and running? How can we get the information to the students? How many students will join? And it's really like we're not trying to solve language learning overnight with Minecraft. Like the first phase was very much an experiment. Like Robert said, we had like, how do we get Minecraft running on the school's network? Okay, so that was like, that has nothing to do with language learning. We just want to see, like, can we bring Minecraft to the students first? Will the students join? And then we're not just looking at like, okay, are their English test scores going to go up? We're also concerned with like foreign language anxiety. Does it help them join the space that we're creating? And we're also concerned with things like self-efficacy. We don't know the answers to this right now. We just wanted to get Minecraft up and running for the students in like related to the self-access learning center. So yeah.
Yes.
So there are a lot of questions we don't have the answers to yet.
So it's kind of like doing pure research. If you knew what the answer was, you don't have to ask the questions.
Right.
Exactly. So, and I think we categorize it under action research, whereas we have an idea. There's some theory around it. We can kind of support the idea, and then we watch what happens, reflect on that, evaluate, and then change the idea and make it better. Reflect, evaluate, and so we have our own feedback from each other and student feedback. Some of it's formal, some of it's informal, and some of the things I assumed that the students who want to play, so there's a lot of students that we help them get set up with our English courses, and they have Minecraft on their computers. I assume that all the ones who play Minecraft would be experts. That turned out to be false. A lot of them were like, well, what's a server? I didn't know there's multiplayer or things like that. I assumed only students who had Minecraft would be interested in joining. Also false. One of our most avid players used, we have some old devices, some old smartphones I had, an old tablet. So a student came and joined one of our events, played for the first time. After 30 minutes of playing, he went out and bought it for himself and plays probably a little too much. Hours every day, creates crazy things in our server. So a lot of our assumptions were false, but also we found some great students to get partnered with. So from our events, from talking to the students, we got partnered up with a student society, the Silk
Student English, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
And they want to help us. So moving forward, when we run events, they want to be involved with those events. They want to help choose the events. They want to help bring in students. They are the students. They're going to be in those events. So whereas we launched it, we had approximately 20 students join to different extents. We only had a maximum of 6 students participate in a single event. A lot of students would come only once and go away. So having some students would come in when they see the teacher leading it, they were a little bit put off, things to that extent. So having the student association be a main member and facilitating future events, we're hoping will get more students involved and happy to be a part of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, before we started, like one of the problems we had with the server is, well, do we do Java? Do we do Bedrock? What are students using? We surveyed over 200 students. So we have about 1,600 students who come in every week to learn English. It's a mandatory course. 200 of them answered about Minecraft, and it was split. Split 50-50 about who currently plays and doesn't play. The ones who currently play 50-50 Java and Bedrock. It made the choice even harder. I had Bedrock, so I chose to go with Bedrock, only to learn after 2 months of Bedrock that, Java has a plugin to support Bedrock. So we moved over to Java, and that way more students could join with the devices they had, and we could. Java is way more open in what I can do and what I can limit for the students, and what I can organize. Events with a purpose can be planned a lot more easily using Java, so it was a great switch to have.
So
Yeah, I mean, I could speak specifically about events, but in general, like we have some PvP events that happen. Some students love them, some people don't. Creative events, some people again love them. One student was very against creative. He even asked, like, hey, like when you guys play creative, can you just give me the map? Can you download the map and I'll just play by myself? And then when creative mode is over, you can upload all my changes. It didn't work out. I tried to accommodate him, but it didn't work.
yeah. Yeah, but everyone's
So,
individuals, so it's hard to, that's what I find hard about Minecraft is, especially I mean, you're not part of a curriculum, you're in a learning resource center, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're in a learning resource environment, so it doesn't really matter if you have, I mean, you're just seeing where the things that people want to do fall out, and seeing how they respond, and going from there. Yeah. So
Well, like somebody mentioned, the task, like Minecraft is perfect for task-based learning, but it's also time-consuming. If we have 5 or 6 students come an hour a week, but Robert and I are spending 10 hours a week building something, it's not. How was York saying it? Like the juice, something about the juice isn't worth the squeeze. So we're trying to balance the amount of effort we put in to how much the students are joining, or how many, like he said, I think we had like 6 for creative and about 6 for survival. But now we're working on with the student organization, so hopefully like the Student English Association, so they should help maybe get some more students. And if we have 20 or 25 students, then it might be worth putting together a what do you call it, a scavenger hunt, or some kind of more structured task.
Yeah. And what do other teachers do? They have? I mean, are they responding to the initiative, encouraging students to go, getting involved, having a look at what they might be doing with Minecraft? What sort of response are you getting?
One other teacher come and join us and look around, another teacher for judging. She came and helped judge us for things, and they both encouraged their students to join. Other students, some students, teachers, other teachers, sometimes will have some questions and stuff, but everyone has their own research they're doing, their own things they're trying for, so mostly just left alone to do whatever it is you want to do, for better or for worse.
So like there's a lot of our essay, it's called the SALC, the Student Access Learning Center, has a lot of events, and they put together flyers and a little like slideshow video, and so ours are kind of lumped into that, and all the teachers at least show that or put it up on their class. How much they highlight the Minecraft event, it's probably about the same as any other event in the SALC. So I'd say we're getting about the same exposure. As for like other teachers promoting us, like actively promoting us, I would say it's passive promotion. So, as in they're just sharing the flyers that Robert's making.
Yeah, okay.
Electronic flyers.
Do you think that makes a difference? Are there students coming on their own, or are they being influenced by the teachers in any degree, one way or the other?
So I think a mix of both. I think they're coming on their own. I don't know. Maybe a few of my students I've influenced to come. I don't know about you, Robert Dykes, if you feel like you have. But yeah, I think for especially other teachers, the students who are coming on their own questions. And I think we also have similar turnout as other events. There's at the same time there's a chess club was started with like one participant. I think it's or only teachers participated after the third session. Movie nights here had had 3 students and then 0 students the second time. Because of COVID and other things, well, we don't know. Like in past years, there's usually more participation than what we've seen. It could be these students are less interested, or it could be COVID restrictions, lack of knowledge. But we do think as we know more, so we sent out a survey in last January. A lot of the students who initially said they wanted to join Minecraft and didn't said that they were busy during Minecraft. So I think we advertised. I think students understood the specific events we had, but didn't understand the always open 24/7 server aspect of Minecraft.
So we're really trying to push like this persistent village world that we're making that will stay between, hopefully if we do this for years, what you build today will be here for freshmen in a year or two to see. And like that, I don't think either of us, we didn't get that idea across. So that, when we had a build competition that was, a week or too long, they thought like, oh, that's it. We have 2 weeks. So I missed it. Okay, Minecraft's over. But no. Like when that's done, we go back to, we flip flop between survival and creative, which I don't think was clear. That's one of the things that we've learned that we're going to hopefully make clearer next semester.
Yeah,
We've
legacy.
also launched a website for students with QR codes throughout. We have clearer signage with way less information on them, which sounds strange, but I think there was just too much before. So now it's enough to get their interest. If they want more information, they go to the website and can read more, or they go and ask someone for more. Even some of the students from this last semester are going to be student volunteers, whereas a student can request another student to come and help them get set up, or with any question they have. It doesn't have to be just set up. So it's not just, it is self-access, but you can also you can just ask someone to help you. We've got some employees better trained on it now. Rather than having sometimes survival, sometimes creative, we've now set up our server to be both all the time and to use portals to go back and forth.
Yeah.
We have
Which
PvP,
yeah.
we have tablets always on, always available, so that if you want to play just locally with your friends, you can play in the self-access language lounge area and just use your tablets and play mini games together without even joining the server.
Kindle Fire. So Robert bought some Kindle Fires. They're incredibly cheap devices that play Minecraft very well. It's probably the cheapest way to play Minecraft.
Really?
Actually. Yeah. So I think what it was, $100, $150, $200.
We got the highest end, $200 one. But
Wow.
I'm sure a lower end would be fine. So
Wow.
they start at like $80, I believe. I don't. They're all under the same account, so you pay for Minecraft once, and every tablet has a copy of it.
And they
they're all
almost
in
look
trial
like
mode.
not kids' toys, but they're sturdy. They're not gonna break if you drop it like a $1,000 iPad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've got them locked down, so they can't just browse the internet. They can only play Minecraft. Or, I mean, there's some kid games already installed. I think they can learn English with Dora the Explorer if they wanted to. Other than that, they're stuck with Minecraft. We'll see. So a lot of it is, so yeah, I guess that's what we have. We have a few strong, like a core group of students that we found in our trial phase. We're going into phase 2, which is still trialing, hoping to grow it. We're hoping to have a big, like battle royale type style games going on in the first month to get students just interested, using a big screen opened up on our first floor, and do a lottery that runs the whole month. So anyone who signs up gives us their name, email address, and their user ID. And they can also just say, oh, I use the Selk tablet, that's fine. And uploads a picture of their bed inside of Minecraft. Has a chance to win $30.
Ah.
Is our current plan. It could, I don't know. If people have ideas as well, we might change that. But we want every month, we're hoping every month have something kind of big general theme, and maybe some small weekly events that we can do as well. So that's where we're hoping to get some feedback or some ideas from the audience. So if we have a Halloween build contest or a Christmas build contest. Do you have other ideas of doesn't have to be a contest, of a task that students can do? We can easily set up. But like I was saying, we've now set up. We have a plugin so we can have both a creative mode and survival mode at the same time. Are there other plugins you think would be good for this, for us as teachers to organize the students, or that the students would love to have, or facilitate anything? And of course, if you have any questions, comments, feel free to share them.
I think your idea about
Cut out there.
You okay,
Yeah.
Dak?
I was like, the idea is ...
The idea about put a sign on the wall. Are you with us, Dak? We lost you. Well, okay, so I guess that's over to us.
I think his voice has stopped working.
Uh,
Or he's. Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like you've made a really nice start. You've got, you've got some buy-in from the students, and you need to find something maybe that will. I mean, our EVO Minecraft MOOC server has been going for 8 years. The first time we did it, we kind of taught ourselves how to play Minecraft. And then we sort of stayed off the server for a while, and then we came back the next year and decided to do it again. And it also has built up, if you if you actually got into our server, you would find that it has locations, warps somewhere, sometimes railroads, leading you to places that we inhabited for previous iterations of our EVO Minecraft MOOC. And the more we did that year to year, it worked out that we never really stopped. In other words, it was a year-long thing. So some people who just like to get into the game and play the game just enjoy being there and developing. So it seemed for this iteration, I can't remember exactly when we got started. Usually we have to put in a proposal for Electronic Village Online, and it's a good time to start is when they accept those proposals, which is going to be in November or something like that. But I mean, we're working in the server all year long, but then we kind of get focused once the proposal gets accepted. So I don't know. One thing you could do maybe is get students to suggest things or get them to start projects that will involve others. Do you have any student-led projects active at the moment, or are you sort of initiating all the activity?
Well, we got the SEA, the Student English Association,
Yeah.
involved, and so we're asking them if you have any event ideas, please submit them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I mentioned in the other presentation, we were working together with the students to build a train station, but that was kind of our initiative. So yeah, I think as you said, like we could say, hey, what do you guys? Who did?
So a student initiated it, but then
Oh,
so here, like, there's a lot of like the teacher as a leader type of mentality. So, like the student told me they wanted to do this, they wanted me to get things rolling.
okay. I didn't know.
It's hard. So like they wanted to build a train station, they wanted to build with a bunch of other people. They wanted me to go ahead and get that.
Well, maybe you could have.
That's where it's at now, but I'm hoping students will take more initiative over time.
What if you had different
even
trained?
that project, like it's,
No, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. It's your presentation.
even that, if there's difficulties in language but also in culture of what's expected, like is the teacher definitely the leader, or is someone else the leader? Do we all have to have a picture in front of us that we're copying, and we have to have everything down to the letter? And I mean,
Especially
some of that's
like in
normal
Japan.
Mm.
Like in Japan, they're very, very, very used to like 100% teacher-led
Yeah.
lesson, right? It's
Yeah, and like
one of the first things. Almost like in any university, you survey the freshman class after the first semester. Almost any university in Japan, and the first thing they say is, "Wow, it's so different from high school." Because, yeah, it's usually taught by a bunch of foreigners, and we're not just standing up there lecturing.
Yeah.
I mean, most universities. No, I don't have a source to back that up. From experience, that's my opinion. But
Yeah, but learning a language is a lot, as we said in the last session. It's a lot about learning how to learn, and if you I was just thinking that maybe you could have several different train stations in different parts of the server. People could build their little, let's say their suburbs they could start settlements, or they could identify a place, a village or something, or a desert temple or something like that, and they could build a train station there, and then they could connect the stations. Maybe have a contest as to who's got the best station. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's.
hoping.
Mhm.
Yeah, even might, I don't know if it's necessary, but thinking it might be necessary. Like if some of those SEA Student Association students, training them on how to lead, and yeah, break them into groups. Like you're going to this, you're going to build, like you said, have like some sort of contest. See if a student leads, is there going to be more interaction?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they'll put the leader up a little bit on a pedestal,
Mhm.
but probably less so than me as a teacher. And then also, if I can record it and see, I don't want to be actively there, but because I don't want to influence them, but I want to hear like, yeah, of course that student wants to promote English, but how quickly does it devolve into Japanese only, or does it, or things like that? I think will be interesting to watch. Because yeah, when a teacher is there, they speak English.
Ah.
What happens when we're not?
I see. Okay. Yeah. 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 That is a problem in a homogeneous language setting. But that's interesting. If the teacher's there, they'll speak English.
They try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have a English please mentality, not mentality, but system in place.
Mm-hmm.
So it means you don't need to look at, if you don't know the word, don't use your phone, don't translate, just try to be as fluent as you can. So switch to Japanese to get your point across.
Mm-hmm.
If you know the word in English, you need to be using the English. And then if someone's listening, they'll also they'll try to give you the vocabulary or help you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Well,
like it turns out what we were activator rail. What are they called now? I can't even remember the English for them. The redstone rail.
But yeah, activator.
Uh-huh.
Or we are
Yeah,
calling
so-
it activator.
So we were trying to talk to the students about it, and it turns out like there's a different word in Japanese for it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're spending like 10 minutes trying to like, okay, so no, what is this word? And they're like, well, what is it? And like, no, the railroad with the red on it. And they're like, oh, activator rail. And like, oh,
Mhm.
that's what it's called. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It was kind of a fun interaction. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
Yeah.
developing. That's what language learning is. Paraphrase is so
yeah.
essential to it. Yeah. So
And I think that's where where we were talking, how the student, or I'm sorry, the teacher plus Minecraft, when you run into those types of situations, you make yourself a note and then you say, how do we deal with that? One way is we could set up a classroom where we have a picture of each one of these things to put label. Well, yeah, that would be the boring way to do it. Or you could say, well, how do we work around that in real world? Well, we try and describe it. Well, then what would the vocabulary the ancillary vocabulary be that we would need to accomplish that? Well, certain colors, certain shapes, certain descriptions. And that would be closer to the authentic way that the language users would come up with to solve that problem in the real world, and would be actually more useful for their mastery of the language in general. The better way to do it, I think. And I think that after you get a little more Minecraft under your belt, so to speak, at solving those types of issues and coming up with those types of solutions, you can also turn that sort of thing over to the students to come up with those types of solutions. Like I say, you don't just say, here's the standard list of vocabulary for first year students. We've got to make sure they master this. That's not necessarily that's necessary but not sufficient. It's like, well, what's the best way for them to get mastery of that amount of the language? Isn't just those words, but the words that are necessary when you can't think of those words. If you hear what I'm saying, I'm not being clear here.
No, it definitely makes sense.
yeah.
And to me, that's what the immersive environment kind of produces emergently. It just happens because we can never remember the word for this. and we keep going around this end run, so we learn these other words. It just happens. And that's wonderful, because that's better. Rather than you learning the one word that you're never going to use outside of Minecraft, you learn these 16 other words that you will. How beautiful is that? And it wasn't on our syllabus. Perfect.
A lot of students, like when they discuss like why they enjoyed like Conversation Lounge, which is very similar. It's not, oh, I learned these things or I did that. They're like, oh, I was able to hold a 10-minute conversation with a foreigner. They're not. That's making a lot of our students happy. Like I never thought I could actually talk to a foreigner, and I just did it.
And it's reinforcing to the point where they're motivated to go back and do more. I ran into this in another realm, but working with faculty at the university where I was employed, where when it gets to the point where the students are sitting in the hall on the floor waiting for you to unlock the classroom, and you have to push them out the door at the end of the period, you're doing something right.
Yeah, another thing you could do would be to have them, I was thinking originally just teach teachers, but another thing you could have them do would be to set up, say, a weekly event. We used to do this in a place that I was the coordinator for English teachers and their technology. And what we did, we had one day a week where we had a short day, so we had an off period. So I had that off period. We would come together in a room, and anybody could make a presentation about what they had done that week, interesting in technology. And it was not forced at all. It was, people really enjoyed making those presentations, and people felt that they benefited from them because, you know, we were faced with a lot of technology, and we were, you know, this was other teachers teaching how they used the technology that we had put in their classrooms. That was kind of my job, was to set up that classroom where it was a tech-rich environment. But basically, of course, nobody can tell them what to do. They have to tell each other. So maybe you could have sort of an event where you'd have 2 or 3 presentations a day. Well, not a day, but like a week, you know, at a regular event. You'd have people speaking in English for a short period of time to make those presentations. And then we get their teachers involved, so the teachers could come and learn from the students.
That kind of gives me an idea.
Mm-hmm.
What if you had a fishing contest in Minecraft, but the fish that they're trying to catch are not fish? It's new human beings coming into the world to see something, to talk about something. They don't necessarily have to come in and play or build anything. They can just be looking over your shoulder while you play, but talking or typing or doing something to interact with someone else in world. And as soon as they do, you caught the fish.
And just thinking pragmatically as a organizer of this conference, I see that we're getting toward what would be the end of your session, but we started late. Was there anything that you wanted to show us here that you think we should see?
I'm just looking. So I've just been typing some of the ideas as we go.
Mm-hmm.
So one question from the last session too, and something even before today I was thinking of, is giving students not mandatory reflection, but the option to reflect and to write in English.
Mm-hmm.
So some students are joining because they want to play Minecraft, and some are joining because they want to improve their English. So having a chance to write about what they learned just gives them a way to focus their writing. So you say, oh, write something and I'll correct it. Like, well, what do I write? If we're to ask students to reflect on what they've done in Minecraft that week, for example, are there, do people have opinions if it should be very open-ended or very focused questions, or what would you do with that?
I think there's a huge utility for just having them write the story of what they did to be shared, because that's usually something that they have a passion about. You know, you say, what did you, you know, what did you do, what did you do in school today? Well, maybe a little level above that, but what did you do in world today? And just leave it as open-ended as that, because they're probably not going to write about something that wasn't meaningful to them. And they're going to need to come up with the vocabulary to support something that meant something to them, with the idea that this is going to be shared with other people beyond just you and the person grading it. We found at the university that I worked at that if an assignment is only seen by the person who did it and the person who graded it, it's nowhere near as meaningful as something that's created for the world to see. You know, think of it as an artistic piece, whether it be a poem, a painting, what have you, a written piece that's created for consumption.
Yeah, and along those lines, you can teach them multimedia, video skills they may or may not already have, how they can...
yeah, if they're not comfortable with their written skills, well, how about their spoken skills?
Yeah,
we're kind of encourage the spoken language as well.
Yeah, make demonstrations in Twitch or something like that. Yeah, put something up in a space where other people can see it.
Stream your session, but talk about what you're doing in the language. Interact with someone in the language. I think the written piece pedagogically might have more value, because I think they're going to spend more
Depends.
effort on it, more repetition, but the type of effort they spend on the other types of creation exercise different parts of the use of language, and so they're arguably as or more valuable. I don't know. My background in that area of learning is absent.
Well, I think they're going for fluency, not form. Right? I mean, you're not teaching grammar. You want people to exercise their language.
Self-access. Each student has their own learning goals,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where the reflection. Maybe even put like a multiple choice at the bottom, like maybe have it as a form. Very open at the top, and then at the bottom, like, are you looking for a reply? Are you looking like a written reply? Do you want a verbal reply? Would you like grammar notes? But it just, I want to find a way to be able to meet their learning goals without forcing them. If they're not interested in grammar, I don't want to mark their grammar. It's wasting my time.
Yeah.
Ask them what they're trying to do, and then how would they know that they've accomplished that, and how can you help them meet that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds great. That idea of them setting their own assessment, their own type and style of assessment. How would you know when you're reaching your learning goal?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is there anything you'd like to do to wrap up before we go?
Shooting more arrows
Just
in.
announce again, like, this wall will be open. If there's good plugins anyone knows about, the other activities, come right on our wall, right on the books. And,
Yeah, so we have a bunch of, like Rob was saying, like we were able through, like, with plugins we were able to have creative mode and survival mode in the same world, which like is great.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys have any, I didn't know all these plugins existed, and you all seem to be really familiar with Minecraft. So if you have any ideas for plugins we could use, please, like, by all means, share them on this wall over here.
There are mods and plugins to do just about anything you can think of, and if not, it's possible to code your own. The thing is, that coding would need to be done in English, so maybe there's another place for students to learn English, but it would be very task specific. I'm disconnected again. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. you
Yeah.
can.
But yeah, we can, well, yeah, we have computer engineer, computer information students. I don't know if they're learning Java, but they are learning some sort of coding.
Somebody
Not have
put,
proficiency, but
I'm reading a note that says add multimedia Flipgrid. Flipgrid is a really nice tool for having students make small presentations and get them where other people can see them. Have you tried it already? I guess you're familiar with it probably.
we're
Flipgrid?
we're a
Yeah.
Microsoft 365 school.
Yeah.
Flipgrid is integrated, but I don't use it often. But
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, if it's just an entry into multimedia, or, I mean, we all know a bit about multimedia, but to actually make a capsule, a video capsule, in the shortest amount of time, the juice you get is actually worth the squeeze, then, Flipgrid is good for that. So, anyway, okay, well, thank you very much for making your presentation today, or leading our discussion, I should say. We've had some very interesting discussions. And
Thank you for hosting all this.
yeah, our pleasure. Thanks for being a part of it. And you guys are making history now. The first ever language learning conference in Minecraft, as far as I know. There have been lots of events in Minecraft, but I've never heard of a conference. I Googled it. I tried to find anything. I couldn't find any real conferences there. Anyway, so this could be a first. Anyway, we're declaring it a first. If anybody comes along later, this is prior art. So I'm Vance Stevens, and I'm the lead coordinator of EVO Mineccraft MOOC. And if this is the first ever EVO Mineccraft MOOC conference in Minecraft on language learning, then it must be February 8th, 2022, because that's when the conference is. And we're talking with Robert Dykes and Robert Remmerswaal about how they set up, what do you call it, a SALC lab?
SALC.
SALC, yeah, SALC,
Yeah.
Self-Access Learning Center. And put Minecraft there, as Dak says, you put the toy there, and it's like setting up a playground, and see what people do on it. And so that's what they're doing right now. And they're trying to get ideas for to have more meaningful interactions, more language directed, and they've engaged their English club in that. So it sounds like a partnership we might want to hear more about sometime. So thanks a lot for coming along. The stream has been going well, so there's a recording of this.
Yeah, thank
And,
you.
yeah, it'll be up on although the links are already there, the stream links are already on the program, the schedule. So you could play it, you can watch it live right now, or when I stop the stream, you can see the recording. Okay, well, thanks very much, and maybe we'll see you later on today. Yeah, so it's early in the day for you, so we go until midnight our time, and in Malaysia we're 1 hour before you. So, and Walton was here earlier. He's the last presenter at it'll be midnight your time, 11 o'clock for me. So anyhow, thanks again for coming, and this is Vance Stevens saying goodbye. And any other voices before we cut the stream? Going once, twice. No last words? Okay.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Oh, yay, Bobby chimed
Bye-bye.
in, my beautiful assistant.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye everybody. See you in a bit.
Okay, bye-bye.